Yet again, boxing professionals have uncovered why Daniel Dubois will beat Anthony Joshua. Jile Jen is foreseeing a world-shaking upset when Dubois faces Joshua. In spite of the fact that Dubois is falling off a heavenly triumph against Phil Hrgovic, he is by and large thought to be an impressive dark horse in the session, regardless of past losses to Joe Joyce and Alexander Usyk. Jang, a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight positions, has confidence that Dubois has the stuff to win. Zhang said, "I for one blessing Daniel Dubois to pull this off on the grounds that he is on the flood. He is ravenous. He is youthful, and he has the fire in him. He had a delightful knockout triumph over Philip Hrgovic last time, so I truly have my confidence in the long shot. We are, in a real sense, 3 weeks away, and I accept he will stun the world." AJ, generally viewed as the more prepared warrior, is the reasonable hash one for the forthcoming session anyway. Daniel Dubois has gathered help from heavyweight competitor Jile Zhang, who accepts that Joshua may be reluctant or even unfortunate of a rematch, having recently confronted Joshua in the beginner positions at London 2012, where Joshua won on. Focuses predicts that Dubois will stun the world with a steamed triumph over Joshua in the not-so-distant future. Zhang said, "I anticipate that battle, and it might end with a knockout. Joshua's jaw is dependably a question mark, as I would like to think we will see what happens." Dubois' triumph against Joshua probably won't be momentous, yet it would be a bombshell prevailing throughout. The previous double-cross heavyweight champion would situate Dubois, the current IBF heavyweight champ, in a lucky spot. Dubois has even expressed his expectation to overcome Joshua and afterward rule for a drawn-out period should Dubois win over AJ. The 26-year-old, who commends his 27th birthday celebration this week, will be prepared for a program of significant matchups. A possible standoff with Zhang could be not too far off. By and by Dubois is profound into thorough preparation, sharpening the two, his actual ability and mental flexibility. The forthcoming session could transform into a difficult fight or deduce in a suddenly quick completion. Anyway, relatively few, except Joshua Dubois, makes a similar progress. Will Dubois succeed, however, assuming that Zhang is right? Simon Jordan, co-host of Talk Sports, has regularly voiced analysis toward double-cross heavyweight champ Anthony Joshua. Anyway, in a surprising development, Jordan has lauded Joshua as he plans to confront Daniel Dubois on September 21st. A triumph in this session would raise Joshua to a 3-time heavyweight champion status. In spite of this, previous super middleweight champion Carl Froch disagrees with Jordan's idea that Joshua would enter the domain of eternity. Would it be a good idea for him? He went over Dubois in their IBF title conflict. The Cobra battle that the title Joshua and Dubois are competing for was passed down from Alexander Usyk, the previous undisputed heavyweight champion. Usyk needed to give up the IBF title since he couldn't protect it against his required challenger Dubois in time because of a legally binding commitment to confront Tyson Rath in a rematch on December 21st, 2024. Thus, Daniel Dubois was along these lines elevated to the place of IBF heavyweight champion. On that note, Fr blustered. Simon Jordan said that, on the off chance that AJ beats Dubois and turns into a 3-time best on the planet, he is in the domain of interminability. Sorry, Simon. Yet, that is further underscoring the way that Anthony Joshua will be battling for a belt that was peeled off Alexander Usyk. He expressed, "You can't express that by bringing home a championship that has been peeled off of the top dog. He has become undying. That is the issue that I have with this title being divided or emptied or removed from the genuine top dog, which is Usyk. That is my principal issue." He additionally scrutinized Jordan's comments as an affront against the celebrated tradition of past title holders. He featured figures like Lennox Lewis, who in 1999 accomplished the situation with undisputed boss fighting the unbelievable Evander Holyfield during the period of the 3-belt framework eternity. You are contrasting him and any semblance of Lennox Lewis, for instance. Come on, you can't think about those CDs. Far said intriguingly. Alexander Usyk, who had surrendered the IBF belt, arisen successful over Anthony Joshua on 2 events. Joshua's brought together heavyweight title was taken by Usyk in 2021, and in spite of a second session, Joshua couldn't recover his titles. Considering the previously mentioned truth, for further comment on the off chance that AJ beats Dubois, he will hold his hand up with that IBF heavyweight belt and say, "I'm presently the 3-time heavyweight best on the planet." Everyone with a cerebrum will be expressing, "Hold tight a moment, didn't you lose to the person that you have recently took that belt off?" Simon Jordan presumably didn't completely comprehend what he was talking about there, since he's not in that frame of mind of everlasting status by beating someone's belt that is taken off them. When Joshua and his rival get down to business inside the squared circle, Joshua is still up in the air to treat him discourteously. Joshua, plainly enraged by Dubois' provocative way of behaving and enthusiasm to connect on the spot, felt the more youthful warrior's reckless demeanor was beginning to grate on. "I'll toss this seat across your face. Don't slight me." Joshua's rage ejected as he yelled. The two contenders were near the precarious edge of a vicious conflict, yet, in the nick of time, security interceded and pulled them separated, deflecting a likely scuffle in a new meeting. With Queensbury advancements, Dubois commented that assuming AJ is looking for regard, he's picked some unacceptable field, as boxing isn't the put to expectation, it is their regard in that ring by the day's end. This is a battle. Assuming you need regard, proceed to turn into an attorney or a specialist. Dubois expressed the 26-year-old soldier is undeniably ready for the fight to come, showing no smidgen of mental shortcoming. In the meantime, the 34-year-old not entirely set in stone to get payback for the rude remark, focusing on making Dubois endure the side effects of his disregard. As the standoff moves closer, the explosive has discharged back at AJ's new discourtesy remark made during their go head-to-head affront. "Isn't exactly the right term, is it? We're in the boxing ring," the 26-year-old condelegate told Queensbury advancements in a new meeting. He likewise underlined to Joshua that regard ought to be abandoned. Venturing into the ring, Dubois expressed gravely, "Is there regard in that ring by the day's end? This is a battle. On the off chance that you need regard, proceed to turn into a legal advisor or a specialist. This is a battle game, and you realize I'm prepared, 100% prepared to simply go out there and battle." Now, apparently the two notable English fighters are obviously hoping to harm each other going into the coordinate. On the other hand, Anthony Joshua will move toward the Dubois out with a savage assurance, driven by his desire to recover his situation at the zenith of the heavyweight division. The confrontation with Dubois is urgent in molding Joshua's way to undisputed top dog status. Getting a triumph over the Greenwich contender would situate Joshua impeccably for a bout with the victor of the Usyk Fierceness Experience set for December. All he has at the forefront of his thoughts is Dubois clearly bringing home the World Heavyweight Championship. Yet, that's what I know. Whether he wins September 21st, the main battle he will need is the champ of Usyk. Rage. AJ's advertiser Eddie Hearn expressed he's for a long while been itching to battle Fierceness. He'll make it happen, yet when the choice is perused out on December 21st, he will need the victor of that battle, since he's just a single battle away from being undisputed himself. The matchroom and closing head added boxing, a warrior's heritage, rises above simple records and prizes. It's characterized by the attractive presence they brought to every session and the extraordinary minutes they made inside the blessed ring. Fans don't remember the triumphs or details, they recall the soul of the fight's battle and the enduring effect of each and every punch and move in the heavyweight division. Each punch is a power of crude aim. Only one blow can redirect the battle in a moment as the repercussion settles. Observers are blessed to receive seeing a triumphant warrior victorious and arms high up while the field beats with energy. Alternately, the crushed rival is passed on to confront the impressive test of climbing, energized by yearnings of future victory, eminence, and the renowned title of flat-out best. Daniel Dubois is set to face his most prominent test to date with a standoff against Anthony Joshua, delegated title holder, on June 26. Dubois has a great chance to set his title and redress what he sees as a wrong from his battle with Alexander Usyk. This impending session guarantees not exclusively to brace his case to the title, yet additionally to act as a stage for individual reclamation. For Joshua, this is his opportunity to recover his crown as the title holder and challenge Usyk for the undisputed title. Dubois considers it to be his second to feature his gifts and set his situation among the boxing tip-top. Fans can anticipate that an exhilarating match that commitments should enthrall and engage Joshua, known for his imposing knockout power and steady drive, stand out from Dubois, whose essential poke repeats the exemplary style of Radiant Liston. The two warriors are at pivotal crossroads in their professions, making this session significantly seriously convincing. Anthony Joshua enters the ring this time as the dark horse. Following his misfortune to Usyk on August 20, 2022, he has made an eminent rebound, procuring 4 straight wins over Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, Otto Wallin, and most as of late Francis Ngannou, now at 34. Joshua has confronted examination over his specialized boxing ability. a worry he transparently tended to during his coordinate with Alexander Usyk. Joshua has set out on an extraordinary excursion, conforming to new mentor Ben Davidson. This cooperation has infused a new feeling of direction and energy into his preparation system, pushing him towards an unequivocal second on the global stage as he equips to move into the field as the lean-toward competitor, utilizing his huge involvement with high-stakes matches. Anthony Joshua comprehends that a victory in this session won't just get him a third big showdown title, yet additionally set up for epic future experiences, whether it's a likely set of 3 with Alexander Usyk or a completely exhilarating skirmish of England against Tyson fierceness. Daniel Dubois enters the ring with a standing as the title holder according to numerous, while the IBF formally acknowledges him as the full top dog. This match represents his veritable revisitation of the fans' warmth. Dubois likewise went head-to-head against Usyk, notwithstanding a dubious closure. He was at last crushed. Dubois enters the ring with a huge impediment and experience, contrasted with his rival, yet with stakes that are certainly high at only 8 years more youthful. And with a less broad battle record, he's near the precarious edge of a critical test. A triumph could messenger a groundbreaking time for the heavyweight division, possibly modifying the direction for English warriors. Such a victory wouldn't just send off him into the domain of super fame, yet additionally harden his status among the game's first class. Anthony Joshua enters this battle at a vital second in his profession where a misfortune could risk his possibilities for an extended period. Conceivably in any event, igniting conversations about retirement in the wake of committing 2 years to restore his vocation and change mentors, Joshua winds up with an urgent opportunity to show that he is as yet the prevailing player who brought together the heavyweight divisions somewhere in the range of 2016 and 2019. Daniel Dubois presently can't seem to demonstrate his ability against the higher class of warriors. A misfortune in this match could solidify his standing as somebody who finds it challenging to fight with the division's best, having previously confronted difficulties against Joe Joyce. Alexander Usyk, a loss at 26, could bring up issues about his responsibility and future possibilities in boxing. That Dubois and Joshua stand at far edges of their boxing odyssey. Dubois' recently delegated title holder is reaving in the happiness of his new victory. Conversely, Joshua, a veteran with a rich inheritance, is fearless in his journey to correct past blunders and re-establish his situation at the zenith of the game. As September 21st methodologies, prepare yourself for a conflict where the genuine proportion of triumph will pivot not on sheer influence or experience, but rather on the steady purpose of every contender to move forward. Should Anthony Joshua win over a resurgent Daniel Dubois, his way to turning into a 3-time heavyweight champion will remain solidly in sight. There is hopefulness from no less than one eyewitness who accepts AJ can progress to a higher level with artfulness. The stage is set for a grasping all-English heavyweight conflict at Wembley Arena in London, where the 34-year-old Joshua will confront the 26-year-old Dubois for the IBF heavyweight title. Joshua tries to recover one of the 3 titles he once held, taking on Dubois, who has as of late been raised from interval champion to full IBF champion. As the exceptionally anticipated conflict gravitates toward Eddie Hearn, the administrator of Matchroom Boxing and advertiser for Joshua is preparing for a considerable test for his warrior. Hearn said on Durrani, "It's a gigantic battle. The 2 people are as their vocations right now, the certainty of their vocations. Dubois is an extremely hazardous rival, yet AJ's looking shocking. I accept he takes him out in style since losing his brought-together title to Alexander Usyk of Ukraine in September 2021. Joshua has gotten a 4-battle series of wins after a loss in their rematch 11 months after the fact. Joshua has quickly returned with eminent triumphs over Jermaine Franklin Jr., Robert Helenius, Otto Wallen, and Francis Ngannou. Strain has been blending among Joshua and Dubois since the battle was reported. Hearn accepts that this enmity will fuel his warrior, convincing him to a conclusive triumph. By Hearn said totally. Joshua is constantly persuaded, however, when that occurs, there's only a tad chomped really spring in the step and spine cap. And this is an opportunity for AJ to become 3-time world heavyweight champion on such a monstrous night. Then again, Dubois is preparing for his second appearance on the big showdown stage after his 9-round knockout misfortune to Usyk last August, a battle that was for Usyk's 3 heavyweight titles. From that point forward, Dubois has gotten back in the game with technical knockout successes over Gerald Mill Operator and Filip Hrgovic. Now he's leaving on his second mission for the world title, set to confront one of the game's top heavyweights. Joshua Hearn expects completely a remarkable execution from his contender. Hearn added the two contenders are in their developmental professions at this moment, and the certainty is up there. This ought to be an extraordinary evening of boxing. The two warriors have returned stunningly since their misfortunes to Usyk, who crushed Joshua 2 times by choice and took out Dubois. As of late, Joshua has indented stoppage triumphs against Robert Helenius Otto, Wallen, and Francis Ngannou. Then again, Dubois has scored hard-battled stoppage, prevails upon the already unbeaten Gerald Mill operator and Filip Hrgović. The impending boxing card at Wembley Arena is set to break participation records, highlighting top English ability. A significant feature is the expected appearance of ruler Nassim Ham. An unbelievable UK warrior in front of the occasion, he uncovered his expectations to ace boxing fans. Ham said, "I think AJ wins to tell the truth by Kof. You guess this coordinate going the full 12 rounds with a joint 45 knockouts. The two heavyweights have tasted. Route by stoppage advertiser Blunt Warren imagines a challenge portrayed by Essential Pokes, especially commending Dubois's considerable hit at this point. Joshua's group fights that Dubois can endure a similar sort of discipline he did against Hrgović when facing a strong puncher like their contender. The champ will be distinctly watching the December rematch among Usyk and Tyson fierceness, focusing on an undisputed title battle. Right on time in 2025, Usyk surrendered the red and gold tie, which prompted him being perceived as a full top dog. In the meantime, Triple D has gotten triumphs in his resulting matches, following his loss to the Ukrainian. The profoundly expected conflict among Joshua and Dubois is turning out to be a fabulous occasion. Saudi boxing chief Turki Alek has affirmed that their solicitation has been formally endorsed in anticipation of the excellent confrontation expecting a horde of 96,000, he proclaimed via virtual entertainment that the solicitation to raise the show's ability has been conceded by the nearby experts on X. Turkey composed our solicitation to broaden the limit with regards to a records boxing swarm at Wembley Arena for the Joshua vs. Pairs battle at the Riyadh season card. Wembley release has been supported. Tickets will go on special on Friday at 12 o'clock. UK time. The normal participation of 96,000 would outperform the 94,000 who watched Tyson Rage take on Dillian Whyte in April 2022. This forthcoming battle will be Joshua's 6th arena coordinate in the UK, with 2 of those held at Wembley Arena. At this eminent scene, he got triumphs over both Vladimir Klitschko and Alexander Petkin. Joshua has likewise battled 2 times at Tottenham Hotspur Arena, 2 times at Cardiff's Realm Arena. Dubois then again just battled once in a UK arena, showing up on the undercard of Wrath vs. Derek Chisora at Tottenham Arena as per Duke McKenzie. Daniel Dubois is ready to convey an astounding triumph over Anthony Joshua 1 month from now. The two contenders, having displayed noteworthy exhibitions in their most recent matches, are set to enter the ring in pinnacle condition. McKenzie, a top dog AC cross 3 weight divisions, is certain that Dubois has the expertise and assurance expected to hold his title. McKenzie said, "I couldn't say whether he's individuals #1, and I couldn't say whether he's the bookies #1, and I don't bet. However, assuming I did at this moment and I needed to pick one individual to win this specific battle,